3, 2, 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today, Jesus Christ. Today is Saturday. It is December 5th on a cold, chilly night here in El Paso, Texas. It is approximately 7:13 in the PM, guys.
And it's fucking, like you said, it's fucking cold.
As always, guys, producer or co-host of the podcast, Misael's here with us.
Yo, what it do?
Producer of the podcast, Nick, is also joining us today. Nick, say what's up.
What is going on, guys?
And special guest, guys, for episode number 54 of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, we have Mr. Keenan Willard in the house with us today.
Hey.
Say what's up, Keenan.
Happy to be here, guys.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. Thank you, number one, first off, for joining us on this podcast today. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you for spending some time with us and taking some time out of your schedule to come and chill with us today. Real fast, guys, before we get into the podcast, make sure you guys go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, Apple Podcasts. You guys know what to do. We've told you a million times.
A million times.
Mr. Keenan, how are you today, man?
I'm doing well. It's a slow news day in El Paso, like you said, so I finally get to take a breather and just hang out for a little bit.
Hey, I was thinking about that. Like, do these guys that work in the news industry, do they have like a day off, or like, do they have a slow day, or is it just like shit to fucking give out news all day?
I technically get, I get a set 2 days off, and it is, like you said, it depends on if anything crazy happens. I'm gonna get the call right away that we need to come in.
So you don't have like a day off.
Exactly. I have weekends.
There it is.
He's pretty much on call all the time. So we're gonna get into it a little bit more about what you do here in El Paso, a little bit about your music. We're gonna talk to you about growing up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then at the very end, we're gonna do a trivia game, a little El Paso trivia game where it's gonna be Nick against Keenan. There's no stakes here; it's just purely for fun. And then we'll ask you some 5 random questions at the very end. So before we get into this podcast, guys, there's a tradition that we have to abide by. Tradition unlike any other, where we have to crack our celebratory beer for this episode, and it sounds like this.
Dude,
So cheers all around to you guys.
Cheers.
Keenan, if you're drinking anything, even if it's water, cheers.
Cheers,
There
man.
you go. Thumbs
Cheers,
up.
boys.
All right, Keenan. So I found you on Instagram. I've seen your work, on the local news stations here in El Paso. We've been trying to get more prominent guests on the podcast, so I decided to reach out to you through IG. I slid into his DMs.
Oh.
So shout out to you for answering and being here.
Yeah, a well done slide, I'll say. It was very tasteful.
Wait, what was it? How was it? Did you ask him like, hey man, is there any breaking news in my neighborhood or something? How'd it go?
No, he was very respectful. It was he came out with the invitation, didn't waste my time, got right to it. Good news writing, actually.
Hey,
He had it like breaking news. Yeah.
Was that Molina doing that?
Yeah, dude, that was me.
Oh,
that was
dude.
all me. Yeah, I figured that when we approach the guests, we have to come direct, and we can't be like blabbering about what we want from them. It's kind of like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we need, and boom, there it is. So shout out to you for being on. For any of the people who do not know who you are, can you kind of just introduce yourself to our audience a little bit?
Definitely. I'm Keenan Willard. I'm a reporter with KFOX and CBS4 here in El Paso. I've been working for the station since February of 2019. It's felt a lot longer than that, with the last 9 months dragging on for what seemed like an eternity. But this is my first job out of school, and I have, from the East Coast, come to love El Paso in the desert. It's been a huge transition from what I knew growing up, but the borderland has become like a second home to me.
Nice, dude. Nice. You were originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. We've had people from different parts of the country on. Can you give us like a little taste of what it's like growing up there?
So it is your typical, watching movies about the South, country music, living the dream, blasting music with the windows down. Woo! That kind of North Carolina deal. Yeah, exactly. But no, it was a great place to grow up. It's worlds different, obviously geographically from here, man. When I flew back home for the first time after not being home in a year, I was like, wow, they like trees are a thing.
I was gonna say, how long did it take you when you moved here to find a tree?
It was nuts. My family came after I moved in to visit, and they were just like, your eyes just kind of glaze over when you start looking around at the desert after a while. I was like, yeah, I don't know about all this. The
Yeah, dude.
station had me down to when I first was about to accept the job, they flew me out to check out El Paso. I had never heard of El Paso. I'd heard of Old El Paso, the tacos, and uh, I'd and I'd watched Glory Road. So that was my
Nice.
background. That's my background in El Paso, and it was a pretty strong start. But I got out here, and they drove me on 10 between UTEP and Juarez on the other side, and I was just like, "What on earth is going on here?" Like this, I was like, "This is the
Funny.
border."
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
dude.
like they weren't playing around about that border they got down there. It's funny
No,
that
I was.
you mentioned this. It's funny you mentioned this. We had Cheeto and Toko on episode 51. He's the captain of the El Paso Locomotives. The guy is originally from the DR of Congo, and then he moved to Belgium. So we asked him, "Hey, dude, when you landed in EP, like, what were your first thoughts?" And he landed, and he was just like, "Why is it so brown here? Like, what's all this dirt?"
It's like nothing. No, for real, it is like a world different. It feels like another planet from North Carolina. So when I got here, I was just like starting a new job, don't know a single soul, and about 1,500 miles from home. So I was just like, all right, let's get after it.
Did you have any doubts when you first came back and you saw this desert and all this sand? And
It was honestly a definite culture shock. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that it was not an adjustment, because it is a very different way of life here. I mean, I came from a very, very suburban, very, very Caucasian environment into a obviously very different place with a literal bridge to Mexico in town. And that was a big adjustment. It was weird. It was bizarre to me that, for people who have, been born and raised here, that it's like they don't know another way of life than that kind of connection between the other country. But for people on the East Coast and thousands of miles away, it's just like, it's been very, kind of hyped up and like, oh, the border, there it is.
yeah,
So,
dude.
and that's honestly the only impression that I had coming into it. I was like, here it goes. And turns out it's this incredible and safe city. Wow. Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Hey, so take us back to like a young Keenan, like a young 10-year-old Keenan living out in Raleigh, North Carolina. Like, what are your interests at the time? And then kind of take us into like how you developed the interests of like wanting to be a reporter and doing journalism.
So I think that big interest off the bat, you brought up kind of music we've been talking about earlier. That's something like I've been singing for my entire life, basically. I've always had a kind of just like natural passion for it. It's something before I even learned to play any instruments, I actually took to YouTube and learned how to play the guitar and piano so that I could accompany myself when I was singing, because that's just been like my whole deal for my whole life. I don't know where it came from. Nobody else in my family's musical or anything. So they'd hear me like, singing in the shower and stuff, and they're just like, what is he doing? And that was the one big thing. And then from, I don't know about 10-year-old Keenan, but getting into like high school in Raleigh, that was when I became kind of like a video nerd. I like to think of myself as being like a more highbrow, like film critic kind of kid. I saw Citizen Kane once, and I think like, oh, I'm a scholar now. But I got to that. That was like a big driving influence for me. Was I took a couple film classes in high school, and I was like, this is really cool. I really like the artistic side of it, and also the just being able to create my own stuff. And that actually led to the only practical way to do that for us was we had a news course where the school would put on a daily, announcements. It wasn't exactly groundbreaking stuff we were putting on there, but that was it was the first time that I was like, this is really cool. And it's something that I really enjoy doing. And it was something like I discovered about myself.
Nice, dude. Nice. That's good, because like it seems like you found it at a young age, and then when it was time to go off to college and you attended Washington Lee University, you kind of already knew what you wanted to pursue at that point, right? You didn't go into college like most 18-year-olds where you're like, fuck, I still don't know what I want to do. I'll just start taking some classes.
That's why I never went to college, dude,
you know,
because I still don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like just because you go to college, it's not guaranteed that you know what track you're going to be on. But in your case, Keenan, that wasn't like the situation, right?
For sure. I went in knowing that like I definitely didn't have like a life plan at the time. I wasn't like, 18-year-old Keenan didn't step on a campus and be like, all right, game time to be a journalist. But I, like a lot of kids, I was considering an English major because I think that the general consensus is that's what a track is for maybe educated, smart kids who don't know exactly what they want to do with their lives yet. But I wanted something practical too, and something that I could, I wanted to learn skills on top of just having to, spend 30 hours a week reading 16th century literature. So I was like, I'm going to get into the journalism track. And I was really lucky because I did go to a very small private school. This would be like so vastly like the same thing. My experience coming to El Paso and being just so what is going on is what anyone would say if they grew up here and were taken to Lexington, Virginia, which is a town of about 5,000, 7,000 people total.
Damn.
In very rural western part of the state near West Virginia. And I think at least 50% of the population were students at the school.
Okay.
Like it was
5,000
essentially
people.
just a college town.
That's
Yeah.
like all of Chris's family right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's facts. So look, I did a quick Google search real fast. Lexington, Virginia population. The census as of 2018 is 7,136 people, dude.
That's better than I thought. I'm telling you, there's a main street and there is the university. And
That's
other
it.
than that, it is just a bunch of dudes driving around in trucks. What I just described Raleigh as, I was really talking about Lexington because this is like backcountry, real life, rural stuff.
Yeah.
And it was
Go
like
do a
nothing you've
podcast
probably
out
ever
here.
seen.
See who we find.
Do a podcast in Virginia.
Yeah.
You guys gonna go for your first satellite location? That'd be
Yes.
great.
That'd
Of
be
all
awesome.
spots, let's go to Virginia.
Yeah. We'll
So-
take Keenan with us.
When you went to school, did you pledge? Were you in a frat?
I am a KA. I was in Kappa Alpha.
Okay, I think they have a chapter here. Either I think NMSU has more chapters for fraternities than UTEP. UTEP doesn't have a strong
UTEP, I think, literally has one, and it's Lambda Chi, I think.
Yeah, that's the popular one at UTEP. But it's sad because like I go to UTEP still, and like obviously the campus lifestyle is not like the campus is nice, but the student like culture and lifestyle, like it's a commuter campus, so it doesn't compare to going to like a school like where you went, where it's a fucking college town, so everything's based on the college. So I'm sure you had some legendary times there, right?
That was probably the hardest thing for me to wrap my head around because this, like UTEP, like you said, like the facilities are there. It looks like such a nice campus for me.
Yeah.
And I get here and I'm like, wow, so where are the dorms? Where's everyone hanging out? They're like, they live with their parents.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're all at their parents' house. Like,
I was blown away because that was not my understanding of what college was like at all.
Yeah. And then obviously you had seen the Glory Road movie before coming here, right? So dude,
Yeah.
his perception of UTEP was like, damn, bro, it's fucking lit there, dude. Like
I was like, those guys literally wake up in the morning and just win championships. Like, number one.
if that was the case,
oh shit.
And
Jesus.
I was gonna say probably one of the worst parts of my experience here in El Paso is now getting emotionally invested in UTEP sports.
Hey, dude, you know what?
Oh.
I love UTEP sports, dude. UTEP football is
As do I. Come on,
I
dude.
think everybody
I've been in the
Paso-
stands for 2 games this year already. Abilene Christian for the win. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're going to the chip. We won Alabama.
Dude,
Hey,
it's funny you say that because like being an outsider, like I never like understood how it would be to be a UTEP fan because like you don't really have a direct connection. Like for us, we grew up going to tailgates at the Sun Bowl for like, even though the Miners sucked, it was just something to do, you know?
instead of going to church, Chris would go to the tailgates.
Yeah, dude, that was like my thing. And so like my dad was a big fan. And then when they were growing up, the basketball was actually super successful at that point. You know what I mean? And so like, it was always instilled, like, let's go support UTEP. Let's go to the games. And I'm still that way, especially now that I'm a student, you get into all the games for free. So you have no excuse. But it's cool that you bring this outside perspective and seeing like the way that you thought it would be like, oh, hell yeah, Glory Road, bro. Let's go.
Yay,
The
Don
Don.
Haskins, yeah.
I'm getting 66 tatted on me. Let's go.
Hey, that's what we should do. Hey.
Right here on his arm.
Yep.
66.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Nick.
You know I'm down.
All right, he's down.
Do you have a favorite basketball team, a college hoops team from back home?
Yeah, so I'm the same way with you. I was brought up an NC State fan, and being in the Triangle, which is a lot of people have trouble understanding. Basically, the distance between here and Cruces is Chapel Hill, where North Carolina is. That's the unfortunate powerhouse in North Carolina, along with Duke, that's nearby. So just like you did, basically, when you started asking questions about me, the question is always, oh, you're from North Carolina, so who is it, Duke or UNC?
Right.
And it's like, actually, it's the redheaded stepchild, unfortunately.
Hey, so
And it's kind of the same deal. Like, they were super successful in the 70s and 80s, won 2 national championships in basketball, and they were up there. Like, they were the upper echelon. And now, unfortunately, things have taken a turn for the mediocre across every sport, and we just gotta love them. Like, that's how we were brought up.
Yeah.
Can't do anything else.
because you're a part of the Wolf Pack, right? That's what
That's
you
right. Exactly.
Hell yeah! Look
Hey.
Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. The Wolf Pack. Hey, real fast, did Phillip Rivers go to NC State?
There was a point last week where if Mike Glennon had started at quarterback for the Jaguars, 5 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL that week would have been from NC State.
Wow.
For some reason, the most mediocre success-wise program has produced the by far highest amount of starting quarterbacks in the league for like the past decade at this point.
Okay, so
It's Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
Mike Glennon,
Yeah.
Ryan Finley, who was the quarterback from the 2014 to 2017. So that's 3. Jacoby Brissett, who is
Brissett.
the backup now. So the weird thing is the Indianapolis Colts quarterbacks are Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett, who both went to State.
that's funny.
And
that's
it's
why
just
we got him, dude.
it's just exactly. It's a weird, like, just farm system. Everybody's like, wow, every quarterback in the NFL goes to NC State, and yet they still go 6-6 every year.
Dude, and I was thinking about when you said NC State, the first person that popped to my head was fucking Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he's from there. And I forgot about Russell Wilson going there. I really did.
It was a tough situation for us. He was chased out of town by a coach who did not like him wanting to play baseball too, because I guess it's just too distracting when your quarterback is also a star in another sport. Just
Yeah.
can't handle that.
Look at him now.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So really won that decision. That was great.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson went on to get drafted by the Texas Rangers, I believe. He got drafted by the Rangers, but he also, after going to Wisconsin, takes him to the Rose Bowl obviously far more successful than he ever was at NC State, and then gets drafted by the Seahawks in the 3rd round. Everybody thinks he's just going to be a whatever, and becomes the starting quarterback immediately, and is now probably the MVP in the NFL. And he was chased out of town by a college coach. It was
That's
just like,
crazy,
God.
dude. Maybe that's what motivated him to do what he's doing now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, every day he
Shout out
wakes
to
up
you
with
guys.
just spite. Yep, spite in his heart. For
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to be successful today because I hate you.
That's hilarious, dude. So, did you do any student journalism while in college? Did you guys have a student paper that you guys, or a student news station?
Absolutely. We were the Rockbridge Report, because it was in Rockbridge County, Virginia. And this is so rural that we were the only television studio in the county. So we were student news, but we were also the only
The
news
main
for
news?
these people. Yeah.
Dude, damn, imagine.
That's crazy.
Imagine.
And we literally came on once a week. So these people really had to be paying attention. Otherwise, there was not a lot going on.
Nobody was missing newscasts for sure.
But it was the same thing we do here. I mean, we put on the full 30-minute production, anchors, reporters in the field doing full packages and whole 9 yards. So it was basically, the goal was to do a simulated newscast. So the second that I got to El Paso to do the job for real, I had already been doing it for however many years in college. So that was the goal. It was like,
Did it
that
feel
was like,
natural to you? Did
that
you
was what I
get
was looking
nervous,
for.
or like did you have like any issues of like did you doubt yourself on it?
I mean, I definitely had some self-doubt when it came time to do my first ever live shot on camera out here. You know, like you think you have everything straight, you rehearse every time, and then it's just you and the camera out there, and you get the countdown in your ear, and they just say cue,
Yeah.
and suddenly everything you've memorized is just out the door, and you're just like, uh. That was so yeah. So that was a big transition for me, having to be on the spot and be comfortable. I definitely had some doubts.
Do you remember your very first assignment? Like when, like, was it for K Fox or for CBS?
My straight up first ever story, I definitely should. I feel like that's the thing that reporters would be like really wistful and nostalgic about. And I think I was probably just so like intensely nervous that I like the first 3 months of my career are a blur. I don't even remember what it was like back then.
You know what, Nick? We gotta look it up. We
My
gotta look.
first ever story, it would probably be in like the second week of March 2019. And I'm sure it was not exactly groundbreaking.
Yeah, he wasn't covering like the hottest story of the day that day.
I wonder
No,
what story it
absolutely.
was.
No.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
was
Somebody ordered too many doubles at Chico's and died or something.
Chico's changed their cheese. Or something.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That'd be funny. So okay, so if not your first story that you can remember, can you tell us a little bit about reporting on some of your more memorable ones?
Um, I think that my most memorable one from early in my career is a story that you actually brought up with me today.
The Cardi B one?
So
Hey.
Okay, all right,
the
hold
Cardi
on.
B
Since
one.
we're on that note, so give a little background to the audience while I pull this up, Keenan. Just say you like obviously Cardi B was coming to town, but give a little bit of background as to what happened.
Yeah, so I had pitched this pretty intense story that I had read about with migrants in detention and some of the conditions that they were suffering, and I was like super pumped about it, and I was like, this is going to be a really impactful and meaningful story. And my news director was like, no, actually Cardi B has canceled her appearance, so we want you to go to the parking lot. And I was like,
You're like, wow, really?
all right,
We got
nice,
bigger news,
okay.
guys.
Exactly.
Cardi
I
B
was like,
canceled.
so I basically went into it like, all right, here we go, Tuesday, woo. And yeah, my assignment was literally to sit in the parking lot at the Coliseum with a big closed sign over the box office and just watch as like pretty much every 15 minutes a different car would come up and they would like see the empty parking lot. It would be funny to watch the expression on their face for the first couple people I didn't try to interview. Like you would watch them pull up and just be like, and
then have that like, oh.
So before
yeah.
I play this clip, let me get it ready. But before I play it, I don't know. I'm sure you know this, but this shit went all the way to like Good Morning America where they were playing this clip, and Michael Strahan was talking about this, dude. It was hilarious, and they're asking Michael Strahan, "Can you roll your R's like that?" And he's like, "Nah, you know how he has a gap." He blamed it on the gap. I was like, "Get out of here."
You know what's crazy is like everybody had told that we were interviewing. They're like, well, who? And then like that new answer guy, that that grrr guy, and they're like, oh yeah, the Cardi B guy. It's like, dude, that shit was funny.
All right, so for the people who do not know what we're talking about, we're going to go ahead and play this for you.
News at 9's Keenan Willard joins us now live from South Central El Paso with how fans are dealing with their disappointment tonight. Well, throughout the evening, Cardi B fans who rolled up here to the El Paso County Coliseum went from feeling with anticipation to feeling with disappointment as their plans fell through before their very eyes.
You know what I love about this video is like how serious and like like you just stayed.
Bro,
I knew it wasn't going to be funny if I was like super over the top. So like I wanted to be creative with it because like I said, my story was literally to stand in the parking lot and see people who didn't realize that a concert got canceled. So I was like, I want to do something with it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna incorporate the ochre. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it on air. And I found a way to work it in. And I practiced that for like 3 hours beforehand because
Oh,
I knew
I was about
that,
to ask how long. Like, how did that idea come up?
I essentially spent the entire, like, after I'd written my script, I just walked around in circles in the parking lot practicing that line just over and over again because I knew I had to keep it straight faced and that it couldn't be funny to me at all. And I also had to make sure the R's were down because if I tried to do it and I like, okay, then that would have been so.
Hey, well, it worked out perfect, man.
Man, I can't even do that, bro.
Dude, I was looking at the first 2 comments on YouTube. The first one says, "Give this man a raise." Agreed. And then the second one, the way that the newscaster said, "Okay," I can't read my cards. She said the way that he did that with the straight face had me crying, dude. And yeah,
I think that's the best part, man. That was the best part.
That shit was hilarious. Oh man. Okay,
so yeah, when you talk about like my important stories in my career, that was like kind of like very early on because that was in May of 2019, literally 3 months after I started out here.
Look at
when
that.
I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what was like reporting was all about basically, and I was just I just wanted to kind of take my shot and see if I could go viral and make a splash, and it ended up happening. So that was a big one early on for me.
I mean, when you were done, what did your boss say or something? Was he like, "Hey"?
So when I was writing the story, I was like, "Hey, I kind of want to go all out with this and do the sound in the intro." And then like my whole story is literally just like Cardi B lyrics. Basically, I was like, a bunch of would-be concert goers put that thing in sport and came out to the Coliseum. And so I asked them, like, "Is this cool? Can we do this?" And they were like, "Yeah, well, sure, absolutely." And I was like, "Okay." They kind of gave me a long leash, which was funny.
Hey, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad they did because that's magic right there. That's classic now. That's gonna be playing like every Christmas at my house. It's like, check this out, kids.
Up already for this month?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely.
Did you notice like a huge increase in like your social media followers after that?
My Instagram, my Twitter, everything, especially on Twitter because that's where it like carried the most.
That's crazy,
dude. That video on YouTube has 36,000 views.
I mean, the one that I actually posted is like in the millions. It's nuts. Yeah.
God bless.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's cool.
Hey, have you ever gotten like a message from Cardi B herself or something like, "Hey, I want to meet you"?
I definitely tried when she came back to El Paso. I was like, all right, this is going to be my shot. We're going to make it happen. Cardi B guy meets Cardi B. And I looked out her, I went full reporter and searched out her press representatives and the label and everyone I could get, like every email address I could find, and pitched it to them. And I never heard anything back.
Oh, that'd been magic. I mean, you can still do it. I think it still be.
I do have confirmation that she did see the segment though, because
that's what matters, dude. That's fucking awesome, dude.
So after like I guess a week after, there was a controversy because it came out that like she was canceling these events because tickets weren't selling and they were too expensive, and there was this whole controversy. And she like put out a tweet and said, "That is not true. Absolutely not. Like, I'm still big time." Like, they put it on the news in El Paso that when I canceled, okay? Like, I'm still big time. And I was like, yeah.
What was like accused? I think what was it? Because she had like some like surgery recently or something. Was it? Or
the whole thing with that was people like the tickets were expensive, and there was a concern that like she just wasn't going to have a good showing, and that was like the whole controversy on social media and stuff. They're like, she's canceling because she's not selling tickets. Yeah. And so that did not make her very happy. She did not take it well.
Well, you made it a lot better with that the broadcast you did, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That shit is funny. Yeah, and then like in the rest of the broadcast, like Keenan is seen interviewing people outside of the car, and one of them's like, "I came from like really far away. Like, what the fuck? I just spent
a lot of money on this."
So yeah, that does suck, dude. But
and Keenan's like, "That's bad."
But yeah, that was a great idea, great writing by you, and then the ability to use the puns is just like strategic and it's brilliant.
And the ability
excellent.
to just stay straight faced the whole time, man. That's skills right there.
That's hilarious. All right. So Keenan, for anybody who wants to follow you on social media, where can they find you at? Go ahead and give yourself a plug.
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm Keenan K-Fox CBS, and on Instagram, I'm Keenan Willard TV. And then on Facebook, it's just Keenan Willard. So, yeah, pretty easy. Just my name anywhere, and I'm usually the first one that comes up.
He's definitely the first thing that comes up on YouTube when you type him in. So let's go ahead and take this break, guys. We're coming up to the 31st minute mark. When we come back, we're going to get back into this podcast. We're going to talk to Keenan about his music that he actually does. That is super cool. That we'll play some of it on here so you guys can
Which
hear
I
it.
was pretty shocked that he even did music, man. It's really good music. I had no clue.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. So we'll play some of that. We'll get into the Sun Bowl being canceled for the first time in like ever. So we'll get into that, and then we'll do the El Paso trivia game and do some 5 random questions. So conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, guys, episode number 54. Let's go ahead and take this break, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Episode number 54, conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, featuring friend of the podcast, Mr. Keenan Willard. Thank you for being here again, man. Let me give you a round of applause for that.
Hey.
You're too kind. Wow, thank you.
There you go. And for the people that are watching on YouTube, you'll notice that Mr. Keenan has a wonderful, wonderful display behind him, a nice Christmas tree. It's really nice. Go ahead and show it off, Mr. Keenan.
No, shoot your eye out.
Hey, look at that, dude. Jesus.
Damn, that's
Uh-huh.
Hey, did you have to get the fire department to put that star up there? Or what?
Over here. Yeah, I had to cut a hole in the ceiling.
That's what's up, dude. Yeah, like I said, dude, thanks again for being on today. We really do appreciate it. Guys, go like on Facebook, Instagram. You know the drill. Subscribe on YouTube. So, Mr. Keenan, it seems like you do like sports just like I do, just like Misa does, just like Nick does. One of the more, I guess we can use the sounder for this, Misa. We're going to go ahead and do the breaking news sounder.
That's right.
This one. There it is. Okay. Breaking news, El Paso. They have canceled the Sun Bowl, a tradition unlike any other in the Sun City. Dating back to 1935, there's been a Sun Bowl every single year.
Never been canceled before.
I think it's the second longest bowl game in the nation behind the Rose Bowl, which I believe is the first one, the longest running. So, Nick, I want to throw you I want to throw this to you and just get your thoughts because you're a big fan of the Sun Bowl. What did you think about that instant reaction?
Man, it's heartbreaking, man. This whole year is just really like messed stuff up, man. And I've been going to the Sun Bowl since we're like 2 years old.
Yeah,
so I have some memories being at the Sun Bowl, and it's sad, man.
Yeah. What about you, Misa? Do you care for the Sun Bowl?
I do actually, man. It's just the fact that like I like the atmosphere around the city when the Sun Bowl is happening.
Yeah.
You always know somebody or family members that are going to the Sun Bowl or excited about the Sun Bowl, or friends telling you, hey, there's this badass tailgate happening at the Sun Bowl. We're not even gonna watch the game. We're just gonna go and drink. And so that right there is for me, I think that's pretty cool.
Just a real tragedy, that loss.
Yeah.
For real, that's what broke my heart.
Yeah, that's what you guys really
It's
find
like
value
the
in
only
is the
time you
drinking,
could
that's it.
the only time you could legally drink in a parking lot
Yeah.
is at a UTIP or at the Sun Bowl game or UTIP game, man. It's not possible now.
Yeah, dude. Personally, like that's a family tradition for us. Like we go to the Sun Bowl in droves. Like a bunch of us. We have a big tailgate, big party. We were on like El Paso Times one time. Like They came and shot a photo of us.
A few times actually.
So it's really cool. So I was really sad about that. Keenan, being that you're not from El Paso, what were your thoughts on that? Had you been to the Sun Bowl game before?
So I did go to the Sun Bowl last year, the Florida State game, and I kind of was not surprised when the cancellation notice came down. And it wasn't until I actually did my story, that night where I was kind of talking about the impact on the surrounding area and specifically how hard this is going to hit the economy in El Paso, because I didn't realize how much it really meant just to have this one football game to the Sun City. And I mean, the Sun Bowl said that it could be up to $15 million that is not going to be in El Paso because of this game being off. And it wasn't going to be that much this year because that's obviously income to hotels and to restaurants and things that are all parts of having it be as much capacity and as many fans in there as it can be. And with the pandemic, it would have been far less, but you still would have had these big schools coming in. You still would have had all of that revenue that would still be coming to restaurants. And the economy aspect aside, it is also just a huge loss. I feel like for the sports scene and the cultural scene for El Paso, it's one of the things I've come to know that El Paso is known for and really recognized for, because it is like it's one of the celebrations that happens in this city, and it's just a sad thing.
Cinco de Mayo here in El Paso.
Yeah, exactly. The loss of that, and you're exactly right. To have something that's been going on
plus tax
for 86 straight years and been just a cultural mainstay. I'm reading these stories about these guys in their 70s and their 80s who are missing this game for the first time since 1955, and they're just like, this is what's breaking me, because I can't. This is the biggest impact on my life of the pandemic so far. It's awful that it's taken away something that matters so much to the community.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And like Nick said, we've been going to Sun Bowl games since we were little. So
I went to last year. Did you go to last year's?
Yeah, we went last year too. I literally go, I make it a point to get the day off from work, the day of and the day after, because it's usually New Year's Eve. So
then $15 million, you're at least one of those $1 million that spends on beer there. So
yeah, dude, we go, we have a great time. We ball out,
stimulating the economy. Yeah,
stimulating the economy.
Helping out our community.
After the game, we go eat at Angry Owl. You know what I mean? We're all over the place, baby. So yeah, dude, it sucks. And obviously, like you said, you weren't surprised. Obviously, I wasn't surprised. You could see this shit coming because they couldn't even get UTEP games off the ground anymore. So they're, that's a sign of things to come. But yeah, dude, hopefully next year we can.
They should make it free next year for everybody.
They're definitely not going to do that. That's a big.
I think that will never ever happen.
That's a no-go.
It's just an idea. Maybe we should start a protest or something. Everybody listening right now, guys, get your signs ready.
This shit's funny. So speaking about El Paso and the culture here, Keenan, what's your favorite thing that you found to eat here?
My favorite thing to eat, I think I was never big on enchiladas on the East Coast because I think I never got the real deal until I came here. Yeah, exactly. I look back on Mexican restaurants in North Carolina, and I was just like, I was living a lie, man. This is it. This is the Holy Grail. But a quick plug for me this is the only business that I consistently will just post, because I'm not even for advertising. I'm just blown away every time. I think El Cometa's Al Pastor.
Oh
yes, are the single greatest food on the face of the planet.
I was thinking I was going to tell these guys that I'm going to get a tattoo of El Cometa, whether they want to be part of this podcast or not. I'll record these episodes without
a word for our sponsor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if they could sponsor the podcast, El Cometa, I know you're listening, sponsor us. And we'll eat flautas from El Cometa every single episode live on the air.
Yes.
Every day.
You know what, dude? Okay, and I have to admit this because I don't want to live a lie the way that you were living a lie back in Carolina with the Mexican food. I've never been to El Cometa, man. Still haven't. But everybody, dude, he's like, what?
I've never been either.
He says, say what? Okay, but look, hold on.
I think I'm gonna have to continue this interview
I've been living
by
in a
myself.
different city, so.
Yeah, Nick has an excuse because he was in a different city recently.
Yeah.
What about you? You lived here your whole fucking life.
I'm
barely an excuse.
Yeah, I'm a shitty person.
Hey, that's really right, Nick. Person. That's barely an excuse, dude. Bro, El Cometa's been around for a minute.
But I promise. It's not bad. I promise you, by the time that this episode comes out next Sunday, I will have gone to.
We're gonna go order some white bucket now. Right,
I guarantee.
Let me call my wife, tell her to pick something up.
I guarantee you, man. I've been saying this, but there's another flauta place. It's called Get Flauta by UTEP. It's really good. Check that place out.
Place smacks.
What else do you like that you found that's not non-traditional Mexican? Like any other places you found that are good out here?
Just places I generally go to. I think I love Don Cuco too, just because the steak tacos bang there. I love the arrachera.
Man, he's really into that whole like Mexican like food.
Dude, him and
Yeah,
Chino.
I'm serious. I'm hardcore about El Paso Mexican food now. I'm on the
Dude.
bandwagon.
Dude,
Jesus, that's good.
our friend Cheeto and Dolko, we talked about him. We asked him about like the food differences between Belgium and here. Number one, he says we do not have real fries. He said we don't have real fries. We don't have a concept for real French fries. So that was the first thing he said. I was blown away, but you know
I don't know what he even to right now. I don't even know what he means.
He's saying
like,
Belgium fries are the best. But
I see that, but what would the difference be?
that's what I was asking. Is like, are they even real potatoes?
that's
like,
what he was saying. That the potatoes we
They're
use,
Belgian potatoes.
They're yeah.
he was saying the ones that we use are inferior to the Belgian ones. So you know what? I have an open mind, and I'm gonna go with it, and we'll go to
potato
Belgium.
classist.
Yeah, we'll go to Belgium and try them out. But the other thing he said is that he went to Don Cuco. And he literally tried the whole damn menu, bro, for real.
He said he tried it all.
I go, Cheeto, what's your favorite thing to order from there? He's like, it's literally all good. I've had it all.
Yeah.
I was like,
he couldn't even.
yeah.
Are we
like,
talking
right
like one sitting? Because that wouldn't be possible at Cometa. I can get one order of Al Pastor, and it's like it'll weigh me down for a month.
Yeah.
But Don Cuco, yeah, with the street tacos, like this man, he's a soccer player, right?
Yeah.
So he just came in and was like, "Can I just get 4 of everything?"
Yeah, he said it's by his house, so he must frequent there often. You know, probably every day, maybe for all we know. But that's what's
Thank
up.
God he's running
Lucky
so
man.
much.
I'm gonna plug you on a local restaurant, the Riviera restaurant on Doniphan. It's a low key.
Yeah.
It's really good. L&J's also good spot to go.
My favorite spot to go is Los Jarrones. It's right there on Red. Hit that place up, man. Breakfast there is delicious.
Nick, you got a spot for Keenan?
Get my notes out.
I'm a Don Carbon guy.
Don Carbone's
Oh.
good too.
You know that
Oh,
place is
yeah.
stupid fun.
Never been there.
Never been there.
Look,
dude?
the first time I saw the chicken with sunglasses on the sign, I was like, all right.
Hey, you had to pull up.
Hey, the first time there's this one time I was actually gonna go there, and the only one I knew where it was at is right there on Artcraft. And so I started driving over there, and when I parked, I decided to put gas at the Shell first. As I'm putting gas, I see all these like fire department trucks drive by, and then they stop, and that restaurant was on fire.
They're getting their
Don
protein.
Carbon was on fire.
It was on fire, and that was the only day that I decided like, hey, I'm gonna go and get some. But I decided
Oh, it was
to stop
legit on fire.
It was legit on fire.
It was
and
probably the smoke from the chicken, dude.
I don't know.
'Cause I always see that place like.
My
smoking.
cousin worked there. Yeah, my cousin worked there for a while, and I think I blame him. Yeah, I haven't talked to him since, but you know, that's what stopped me. Like, I actually tried to go see if it was, you know, maybe they had some like, you know, they saved
Maybe it
some
was
chicken.
designed,
Yeah. And they didn't. So I was like, I guess next time, and I haven't tried it since.
Yeah, that place is good. I really do recommend it. That's what's up. So let's transition here, guys. Enough about the food. Obviously, you can
getting
tell
hungry.
that I love food. So, you know, we do this almost every fucking episode. We get into some food tangent. But what we want to talk to you about, Mr. Keenan, is a little bit about your what I don't even want to call it your side hustle or maybe your side passion. You are an artist, right? A musical artist, right? So tell us a little bit about that, how you got started doing that, and more importantly, who do you take influence from? Because I told you when I was messaging you that I thought your music had some like Jason Mraz in it, or like some Matt Kearney, if you're familiar with those guys. But it's like that singer-songwriter type of vibe. So, like, who do you take influence from?
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of like I told you, I sang all the time growing up, and, you know, I was in choir and all that, but I had never taken piano lessons or anything. So it's not like I could go and just start, you know, singing on a street corner without any music with me. In high school, I was just like, you know what, I've got to be able to get on this path. And I just sat down and started using YouTube to teach myself the keys of the piano and how to play the guitar, and got to the point that I could, you know, play both. And even then, I just started learning covers and stuff. I would post videos on like social media of me just playing. And I never would write my own stuff because I don't think I was confident enough yet. I just like taught myself how to play. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready to put myself out there. in high school, and the same in college. I kept getting better with the instruments and like the software that you use to produce, but I was like, I'm not going to put a song out there. I can't do it. And when I got here, it was finally the moment where, I'm 1,500 miles from anyone I've ever met before. And when I'm not reporting, it's just me at my apartment. I got to fill my time somehow. I was like, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to start recording music.
That's awesome.
So I got in touch with a local studio, and then just got to work. And the song that you brought up, Like You Do, I actually pretty much wrote that song in like 15 minutes in my apartment and just like sat down and banged it out.
That's what's up, dude. What studio did you get with? Was it the Beacon Hill?
Yeah, so I've been doing my recording at Beacon Hill. I did 4 songs there.
Nice.
Dude, that's crazy. You know what? I've always had like, I've always loved music. I think a lot of people love music, and they have this whole thought in their head that, at one point, eventually they want to become a singer, an artist and stuff like that. But when you want to take it serious, I think that's what takes skills. Like, I've met a few people, especially throughout this podcast that are artists. And the fact that, to even write lyrics to a song or even have the ambition to learn an instrument, I think for me, that's hardcore. Like, I could karaoke all fucking night, every night. But if you tell me like, hey man, here's this much money, you got a month to write a song and to learn how to play, there's no way, man. I have no skills. It takes a certain skill and mindset to actually have that technique to actually do it. And I have a lot of respect for people that do that. I think that's fucking amazing. I think that's pretty cool. Chris,
it was a huge jump for sure. Like I said, like when I was in college and stuff, I was just too concerned with what other people would think if I start, writing my lyrics and things like that. I was like, I can't take this criticism. And then, I got to the point kind of where I was out here and I was taking a leap anyway with reporting. And it was like, why not do both?
Hey. Oh yeah. Yeah. What were you gonna say, dude? Go for it.
I was about to talk about your rap career.
Yeah. That's all right, Keenan. So I did dabble in music myself. Me and my boy Sam.
Ooh,
dabbled.
okay.
Yeah,
he dabbled a little bit.
Well, not dabbled. I mean, dude, we fucking.
He was fully involved.
Dude, me and my boy Sam, we did like a live show in Austin. We did a live show in Lubbock. We did multiple live shows here. We wrote like probably like 30 to 40 songs together. Yeah. Whether like because we would use people's beats too, so it wasn't all original music at the beginning. We would take the popular hip hop beat. We would write out our lyrics, but even doing that takes fucking time, dude. When you have to write a 16-bar verse and then a hook and a bridge, like that shit.
Not for Keenan, he did it in 15 minutes, dog. What are you talking about?
Well, for me,
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. Well, for me, it did. You know what I mean? And like for Sam, Sam was really good at rapping. He had the process down better than I did, but he had been practicing it for so long. I was literally like, "Fuck it, let's just try it." But yeah, dude, it speaks a lot to be able to make a song and like form a thought, right? And then write a song about it. That's like the hardest shit to do.
I feel like people like that, it's one of those, like when you hear like think outside the box, I think like somebody that does this whole music or anything like that, like it's just do it on their own without any help and stuff like that. I think that's literally kind of like, thinking outside the box. That's doing it on their own. Like for me, dude, not even if you paid me, I'd be able to make a song. Give me like 5 years, I'll figure something.
Hey,
out.
we should do a collab, Keenan. I got you. I'm down, dude.
Yeah, let's link.
I'm not, dude. I'll even send you some of my rap songs so you can see I'm not kidding about this.
Hey, and I was kind of shocked. I was shocked.
He was shocked by like, he's like, damn, dude, you used to rap. I was like, yeah.
First time I he invited me over to interview me, and we hadn't seen each other in about 7 years. And he started talking about his rap career, and I was thinking like, dude, everybody's a fucking rapper here in El Paso, And especially when you're listening to 104.3 or part 102, whatever. And he was like, "No, dude, for real, man." And I was like, "Dude, all right, freestyle." And before I could even finish saying freestyle, this guy's already throwing bars at me. He was on it, and I was just like, "Yo, let's do a podcast together." And he's like, "I'm down." And that's how it happened, dude.
Okay, guys. So, what happened to Keenan? There he goes. Okay.
There we are.
I was like, what happened there? Okay, so before we play this song, Keenan, I'm going to play like probably the first minute or so of it. But for you guys who don't know, this song has a music video, and it's on YouTube, and you can go watch it. And I wanted to ask you, Keenan, like, who helped you film this? Was it the studio? And where did you film this?
Yeah, so this was a video for Like You Do, right? I actually just went out to Horizon with two guys from the studio.
I knew it looked like Horizon.
Yeah, you could tell how it's just literally just a dirt road.
Yeah.
That was like the guy was like, I have the place in mind, and we're just gonna go out there. I had the like speaker on my hip playing the song behind me, and I was just pantomiming the whole thing. Okay, just telling you guys the magic of showbiz there. I wasn't actually performing this, and we just got out there at sunset, just made some beautiful music.
That's what makes it even better, you know. Like when you see the outcome of the video and stuff, like you wouldn't ever think it was recorded.
No, absolutely not. I felt ridiculous. So then I got there and I watched it and I was like, okay, so this is the product.
Dude, it's honestly, I like it. And
I liked it.
I expressed it to you that I thought it was a good song, and to me, like, I was like, damn, they're shooting a music video in El Paso. You can tell because when they do the shots of the city and the mountain, you're like, yeah, that's 915 all day. So with that being said, guys, let's get into this. This is Like You Do by Keenan Willard. So let me go ahead and play that.
Is this what you wanted all along? It's been 8 months already. No, I should be moving on, but I'm searching for something I can't find. When I try to forget you, I think of all the times you'd wrap your arms around me, and we would share the same damn space. Girl, how can I forget you? When every girl I meet still has your face. I wish I never met you, and I would never own this pain, but this feeling's all I know. I never let it go, and that's why I spend my Friday nights drinking from the bottom shelf, making a fool of myself again. Cause I hope I'll take somebody home to cut me up brand new. Cause I need someone to hurt me like you do. Oh, oh, to hurt me like you do.
Bro, that shit slaps.
Right? That just slaps hard. It just kind of like reminds me of like, you know, it's just like going on a joyride with my friends. It's just blasting this music. It's just having a good time.
Yo, it's produced so cleanly. Like
Right.
It sounds like a radio like hit. It's exactly what
It
sounds
is,
like.
Nick.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, you see, I'm not a.
Yeah, that was weird. Sounds like.
Yeah, no, like it's a like. Hey, I love the way that shit was produced, man.
It's awesome. It was
Dude,
pretty good.
That
man.
song is awesome. I've already listened to it a few times.
Yeah.
I started listening to it yesterday morning because I already knew that it was out there, and I was like, I need to listen to this so I can talk about it. And yeah, dude, right away, like I said, I feel like this, like, it also has this nostalgic vibe to it.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It does. Like those bands I was talking about, like Jason Mraz, dude,
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
that feel, dude.
Yeah,
And so I heard that, I was like,
It just
Oh,
gives
yeah,
you
it's
that
a
good
slapper, dude.
feeling, the feeling.
that
It's
great
just
feeling. Yeah.
that great feeling of just, you know,
Nah, it's a
you know,
vibe.
having a good time
It's
and
a
good.
vibe.
And I know
vibe.
what you mean because you asked me kind of like who my influences are and like what genre I would put myself in. And it sounds weird to say singer songwriter.
That's
right?
what it is,
Because
dude.
you're like, yeah, I know. I'm like, what even is that?
Yeah.
like an Ed Sheeran type.
For some reason,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's that situation where, I mean, yeah, you're singing and writing the song, but it's also a kind of a vibe with the just like very acoustic and just kind of focused on the songwriting and itself. Like really, that was the goal, to be evocative and to be really powerful with the message and make sure it was well written. And the one thing that has been surprising to me from I have like 3 songs that are individual, and then my 4th song is an acoustic version of Like You Do. And the feedback that I kept getting after my 3rd song, which is Leave It Alone, is people like individually, not talking to each other, would keep reaching out to me and be like, you know, you remind me a lot of Rob Thomas and Matchbox 20.
I was
And
gonna
like,
say Matchbox
why? I was
20,
like,
dude.
why? Every time. These are people who aren't talking to each other, and like within an hour after the song came out, I have like 5 texts from friends who are each like, real Matchbox 20 vibes here, and I'm just
Well, it's like
okay,
it's like you
alright.
said, you know, like when it comes to music, I think it just emphasizes on the lyrics, And then, you know, with the badass song, music that you have on the background, I think it just falls in perfectly. For me, I think the first time I heard it, Chris had told me, I think he sent me a video of this song, and I started listening to it, and I played it over and over to a point where like my kids were dancing to it as I'm listening to it. And that's how it is, you know, after the third time, fourth time, it's so catchy. You just want to hear it over and over again. And I know for sure, like most of our listeners are going to listen. They're going to look you up and they're going to like it. And they might run into you and ask for an autograph or something. So it's just heads up. Just heads up on that. All right.
There's something to be said about music that's easy to listen to, that's melodic. That's kind of what that is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it goes off of like the first time I ever heard the term singer-songwriter was talking about Jack Johnson, which I'm not sure if you're super familiar with, but dude, I'm a huge fucking fan of that guy. Yeah. And I caught those vibes right away. So guys, he's actually right here. Keenan, you can't see it. I have a Jack Johnson poster literally right here next to me. So guys, for the people
soon enough, we got to have him, a Keenan poster.
Yeah, let me get my poster up there too.
Yeah, dude, bring it through. We'll post it in the studio for sure. So Keenan, for the people that want to find out where they can hear more of your music, is that on your socials or is that just on your YouTube channel?
I have it all over my Spotify page, Apple Music, like basically every streaming platform in YouTube. It's under Keenan Willard. I haven't really been posting a ton about my music or really like focusing on that because I feel it's not really the right time for me to be kind of doing that stuff when I've made a real transition in becoming a really serious reporter who's really trying to focus on owning the pandemic coverage throughout El Paso. I've really tried to double down and be like, I want to be the guy to update people on what's happening right now because this is a crisis and I want to make sure that I'm the voice that they're turning to. And I think that's marked a real turning point for me in my career.
Damn, look at this guy, dude.
Nice. There you go, dude. Great
Becoming number one, dude.
So guys,
love it.
Go support the people that support us. Go check out his music and then also follow his IG. You'll see he posts daily about all the things that are going on, news updates, a lot of information that you guys should know. So go follow him.
Hey, I saw this post that I laughed so hard, and I saw it off of FitFam, but it was off your Twitter, I believe. And it talked about the mayor and how he had that whole discussion and that whole fight with the governor, and how they had spent he had said that they squashed everything and they pretty much had like a sleepover. So dude, when I read that shit, I thought like there's no way they said that. I think Keenan came up with that. I think that's just why would he come up with that? Well, I mean, after seeing that whole I was like, dude, this guy's smart enough to make something up like that, dude. I love that shit. That shit was hilarious, but it wasn't, dude. But I thought that was hilarious, you know. And then like, what was so funny about it is like, while I was reading it, I just saw Keenan's face like in the whole series while he's saying it, you know, and I was like, dude, this guy's magic. Everything this guy says is just magic.
I mean, yeah, but if he tweets that, I mean, that's something that he's not gonna just misconstrue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it would be like, well, time to tank my credibility.
Yeah, but that's what made it even funnier. I took it as like, yo, this guy's just like, his just serious face, just reading that and saying it.
All right, so let's get ready to start wrapping up this podcast, guys. But before we do that, I have a game for y'all, and it's gonna be Keenan versus Nick.
Hey, Nick, are you ready, Nick?
Are you ready, dude? You don't look ready, bro.
Nick's been asleep this whole time, dude.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh, he looks scared. He's shaking in this metaphorical.
He's terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's shaking right now.
Can you switch seats with me and Nick?
No, I'm good.
No, leave Nick right there. We'll leave Nick.
He's scared. You don't want to see people.
All right, so shout out our boy Chris Molina, the governor, for helping us come up with these questions. This is a little El Paso trivia. We've done this once before on the podcast with my sister, episode 20-something, who knows, a long time ago. Go back and check that out. But essentially, 5 questions, multiple choice, El Paso-based trivia. There is no winner or loser. We just want to see and test the knowledge of our contestants here. So
just want to make fun of you guys.
And kind of make fun of you guys. Yeah. Yes, that's kind of what the podcast is for, to make fun of people and to bring humor and laughter. Man. So, Nick, you ready?
Let's do it.
Keenan, ready?
Ready to roll.
Okay, so
Hey, I'm sorry, Nick, but I'm gonna go with Keenan on this one, dude.
Oh, really?
I just feel like he wouldn't know.
Hey,
I'm sure he did his research.
Hey, haters are my motivators. Let's go.
Oh, he's the one that moved to San Antonio.
Okay.
Jesus
Question
Christ.
number 1. What was the first year that the Sun Bowl was ever played? Let me read the answer choices first. A, 1935. B, 1918. C, 1925. Or D, 1940. Don't just answer yet. I'm going to call individually.
All right, let's go.
Let's go with Keenan. What would your answer be to that?
A, 1935.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm going to go with A.
1935
Hey,
as
next
well?
time let Nick go first.
Okay, yeah.
No, I actually,
Now Nick would know.
we're looking at the
Okay.
longest bowl games right now, and I
Yeah.
saw it. So
Okay.
I was just saying because Keenan say it like with a lot of confidence.
yeah, he's like, hey,
Hey, he said it before we even had a chance,
Yeah.
asking him the question.
As soon as I read A, you could see his face. He's like,
yeah.
okay, question number 2. And these questions are from our boy Chris Molina, okay? So he got real creative here. Have you guys heard of the Weiler aerial tramway?
No, I have not heard.
You've never heard of
What?
that? No?
Did you
Is
say
it-
no? Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard of
Okay.
that.
So the question goes, how long is the single span cable system that goes from the bottom to the top of the tramway? Okay, we're looking for feet here. Is it A, 2,400 feet? Is it A, 2,000 feet? Is it A, 1,500 feet? Or
Dude,
E,
there's so many A's.
3,000.
How many A's? You said A like 3 times.
Yeah, I forgot, dude. I forgot to switch. Okay, so
Is it A, or A?
Okay. A, 2,400, B, 2,000, C, 1,500, or D, 3,000?
I'm gonna take an L, so I think I'm gonna go with D.
With D?
Yeah,
Okay, 3,000. Keenan, your answer?
C.
C? Okay, you're both wrong. That's A, 2,400 feet. So.
Ah.
Okay.
Dude, that's a good question, though.
Yeah, that
I feel
is.
like,
I like
I feel
this.
like a lot of El Pasoans have no idea about that.
I've never used that, though. I've
Hey.
never been on that tramway.
Okay, this question is related to food. Question number 3. How much is a double order of Chico's tacos?
Hey!
Is it A, $6.99?
Oh, dude, Keenan has that face
Is
that
it-
he's never been to Chico's.
Is
All
it-
the price. I know
He's
you're talking
never
about
been
how
to
many
Chico's.
tacos coming there. Okay.
Okay, so is it A, $6.99, B, $8, C, $5.99, or D, $6.28?
I'm gonna go with B.
B,
Yeah.
Keenan?
Keenan, wait, before you answer that question, have you been to Chico's?
Gonna take some heat here. I've been to Chico's and I went through the restaurant and was like, I was ready. I was gonna order, and I kind of saw some of the people's food on their plates, and I was like,
That's the number one rule, Keenan. Don't look at the food.
Yeah, he saw the moscas.
Yes,
flying.
he saw all the dust on the lights.
He
That's
said,
what gives the food the flavor.
Hey, yo, I'm
No,
not
I know.
I'm not a Chico's
I
fan
went to
whatsoever,
Alameda
guys.
too. I went to Alameda.
That's
so
so
I got the
Yeah,
whole experience.
okay, so you have no idea what the price of the tacos
Nah, I'm not a
are.
Chico's fan, but I'm
No.
gonna go with B.
B?
I mean, yeah,
I
wait.
went
B was
D.
$8, right?
You went, what was that, D? Or what was that, Keenan?
D.
Okay, D, he got it right.
Okay.
Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!
Tiger Woods fist pump, baby. Let's go.
Hey, Keenan, for Christmas, I'm gonna buy you a double.
I'll buy you a double.
Okay.
I'll probably drain it. I just don't like that it's wet.
That's what makes the best part. Look, you don't know how good it is until you try it. Look, you eat cereal, right? Cereal's wet. So
Yeah,
just think of it that way. Look,
Okay. Question number 4, goddammit. What is El Paso's slogan? Is it A, you better El Paso up? B, just the tip? C, mountains of opportunity? D, don't Texas different?
Yo, we have a slogan?
We have a
I
slogan.
had no
Yo,
idea.
Since when have we had a slogan?
Since
Don't cross the border
Yeah, I'm just gonna
legally.
go
I
with
thought
just
that
the
was
tip.
it.
just the tip? Okay, so you went with B, just the tip.
I'm gonna go with
Keenan,
C.
C, mountains of opportunity. The actual answer is A, guys.
Wow.
Which is
Better El
Wait,
Paso
what?
up.
Yeah, I'm the worst El Pasoan. Like,
You
ever.
better El Paso up.
Yep, that's the
That can't be
slogan.
true.
what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, that's horrible.
These questions came from Chris Molina, so any
I love those questions, Molina. Good job on the questions, but that just makes me think, like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Okay.
Hey, just the tip would be fucking like a really good slogan. Like,
Dude, it
really,
means to El Paso up.
Yeah.
You have to do your shit. El Paso. Okay.
No, my slogan would be like American citizen.
God bless. All right. Question number 5. Who is responsible for originally building and installing the star on the mountain?
Ooh.
Is it A, the El Paso Times? Is it B, El Paso Electric Company? Is it C, the University of Texas at El Paso? Or D, the El Paso Chamber of Commerce? Let's go with Nick on this one first.
I'm gonna go with B.
El Paso Electric. Okay, yeah. Keenan?
D,
the El Paso Chamber of Commerce?
It's actually B, guys.
Okay, yeah, it's B. Nick got that one. Good job, Nick.
Oh,
Dubs all day, boys.
Jesus.
It's okay. That was good. I like that.
Those are some good questions.
Those are some good questions.
Some good local questions.
It made me a better El Pasoan.
Yeah. There you go.
You guys like
there you go, Nick.
Bro, you look like El Paso.
After you answer that question, hell yeah, dude. You look hardcore Chicano, bro. Hell
yeah. Okay, so Keenan, before we get into the 5 random questions and end this podcast, can you just tell us what's next for you career-wise? What do you have envisioned for yourself going forward?
I've kind of gotten into the career thinking that I want to do it at the highest level. You know, I came to El Paso because when I got here, it was a small market, so I could do it for my first job. But it was where national level news was happening with immigration, and it was a place for me to like basically get thrown into the fire and have to do high level reporting right away. And El Paso has been all that and more for me. And I would like, the end goal is to be a national reporter, like at the network level, and try to do it, you know, to be the man. That's what I want to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One day we're gonna see you on either ABC, KFOX, CBS, but we're gonna see you in New York City. We're gonna see you in Chicago. We're gonna see you in one of those major markets, bro. I can see the potential already.
Yep.
So with that being said, guys, let's get ready to wrap up this podcast. Episode number 34 or 3454.
Dude.
Conversing with Chris.
Damn, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Bro. Whoa.
You're right.
Hey, you gotta
need to take a break.
34 and 54, man. They're so close together.
Dude, that was like
it's the Bud Light, bro.
It's the Bud Light.
It's the Bud Light.
5 random questions, guys. Are you guys ready for this, Nick? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So you ready? Keenan, ready for this?
Ready to roll.
He's ready to roll, guys. Yes, sir. Okay, question number 1. If your phone could only have 3 applications on it, what would they be?
They would be, I think calling has to be one, unfortunately, for my job, and then texting. So that's 2 out of 3. The other one, I would say probably Twitter, because that is like that is 90% of my waking hours are spent on Twitter.
It's the lifeline right there.
Twitter.
Nick,
Do you have a Twitter? Do you guys have a Twitter?
I got a Twitter.
You got a Twitter?
I had a Twitter. I just don't use it.
I don't tweet. I like liking stuff, like retweeting stuff. Yeah.
You're the silent majority.
I'm the silent, you know.
All right, 3 apps on your phone, Nick.
ESPN, texting, and man, this one's hard. Probably just phone, calling.
Pizza.
Yeah, mine would be like texting, YouTube for sure.
Ooh.
And probably Instagram.
Hey, I'm going music, Apple Music or whatever music app, Spotify, whatever. YouTube, and then texting. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You can get through. Yeah. That's it. Keep it simple. Question number 2.
Fuck the Weather Channel.
Yeah. The weather. Yeah, I can tell what the weather is by myself. Thank you. I don't need an app.
I can step outside and see the sun.
Question number 2. If you were a DJ, what would your DJ name be?
Ooh.
DJ.
Call me DJ K Willie.
Hey, I love that.
K Willie. K Willie on the track.
Yeah. I love it.
It's lit. Okay, question number 3. Do you butter your biscuits?
I'm from North Carolina. There's no alternative.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We've hit that one 100% of the time. The answer should always be yes. You
Definitely.
butter the biscuits. So question number 4. And think about this because, this might you don't want to answer this one wrong, okay? So if you had to get rid of one state,
Come on, Chris, just put him on the spot on this.
If you had to hypothetically get rid of one state in the United States, which state has to go and why?
Maryland.
Without even thinking about it.
Okay, that's good. Actually, somebody answered that question before. We've asked that question one other time, and West Virginia had to go, man. So they came close to getting to you almost. He's like, you know what?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said,
Maryland for me is because I like to just rib on my mom is from there originally, and me and my dad basically just without any merit like to say that Maryland's the worst state in the union.
Hey.
It's just a family
Inside joke. Inside joke.
Yeah, exactly.
there you go.
Maryland for sure. Yeah, get it.
I think we could all wake up tomorrow and be okay with Maryland not anymore. I think we'll be fine.
I got a friend up there, dude.
Wouldn't change a damn thing. Okay, question number 5. If some random person came up to you, Keenan, and asked you, "Hey, what is the internet?" How would you sum that up?
What is the internet?
Yeah, what is the internet? I'm a stranger.
I'm scared that one of my kids will ask me that.
I see you on your phone, and you're on this device of this handheld pilot of some
It's
sort.
another world,
And I ask you, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm on the internet. And I'm like, well, what's the internet? How do you explain that?
The internet is the sum total of all human knowledge contained in a series of interconnected databases that, rather than using for good, most people mindlessly scroll through to see.
Is he
pictures
reading
of
off a
their friends and
dictionary right now?
dogs.
That's what he's doing. Nick, write this shit down, Nick. Please.
Bro, that was a great answer.
That was the best answer I've ever heard in my life.
It's
I feel like I could use that answer with everything.
It's almost
What are these tacos made out of?
it's almost like he knew that question was coming. That was a great answer, Keenan. I have to give that one.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a really, really, really good answer. Well thought out.
Did you win that tree for answering that question, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you guys are going to bring me a second one.
Yeah, there.
All right, Nick, get on that stat, okay?
Yeah.
We need a tree delivered to his house.
ASAP.
Keenan, send me your address after this. We'll get this done. We'll make this happen. All right, guys. So this was episode 54, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Keenan Willard's been on here with us today. It's been a blast. We've been laughing a lot. I've had a really good time. So with that being said, let's go around and give our final thoughts on today's pod, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's start with you, Misa. Final thoughts for today.
Oh, Keenan, dude, it was an honor to meet you, man. Like I said earlier, I was pretty shocked about your whole music stuff. That's just gave me a way bigger perspective on you and your skills. And I just wish you luck on everything you do. And thank you for giving the time to being on here. Nick, thanks for being here. Chris, it's always a good one, bro. And everybody listening, guys, make sure to follow this dude. This guy's hilarious. This guy's funny. This guy's got his thing going. If you guys want to see a lot more, listen to his music. Make sure to follow him.
And stay fresh.
Yes. Make sure to stay safe and stay fresh.
Nick, final thoughts, dude.
Hey, man, I just want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to interview you. Hopefully next time we can do this in person, man. Just get the vibe going, maybe play some music. Thank you.
Yeah, bring the guitar.
Start a band together.
Yeah, bring the guitar, dude. We'll start jamming.
Definitely. But thank you, man.
We'll start writing hits. It'd be nice. All right, Keenan, final thoughts on the podcast today.
Just grateful for the opportunity to talk to you guys. I get to speak to a lot of El Pasoans indirectly through my work, but it's always cool to talk to people who just don't really have any understanding of where I'm coming from and be able to talk to why I think El Paso is special despite not growing up here, and talk about why I love the Sun City. So I had a blast, and I'm really glad I got to do this with you guys.
Hey,
yes, sir. Round of applause for that. There we go.
Get me all jittery and happy. And can you make a song for us, dude, or something? Damn,
for us
dude,
or for you, dude?
Or write a ballad to El Paso or just to Misa.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Yeah, I want a Keenan's ballad for Misa. I want that. That's what I want. That's what the city wants.
That's what the city wants for sure.
All right, guys. So final thoughts on today's podcast. Number 1, Keenan, thank you once again, man. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time getting to know you and being able to share some laughs with you. You're a great guy, man. I I love your work. You're going places. I'm so glad that you came on this podcast with us. It means a lot to me. I really, really appreciate that, Nick. Thank you for producing us today, man. Shout out to you, Misa. Another great episode, dude.
Hey, Keenan, when you get big, dude, this is what we tell all our guests. When you get big, don't forget to mention us, all right?
I'm plugging you right away. Absolutely.
Yeah, right away, dude.
So with that being said, guys, episode number 54, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure to go like, follow, subscribe. Do your thing. You already know. We are...
Yeah.